Hey, and welcome back to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast, season 3, episode 26. I hope you've had an awesome week, whatever you've been doing, especially if you've been making music. Then, of course, you've come to the right place if you want to get your refresher on what's the latest and greatest in music gear, music technology, software and hardware, synthesizers, drum machines, you name it, we cover it. If you like that sort of thing, you're going to love this podcast. And, of course, you've got a host with tons of personality. That is, of course, me, Emlyn. Yes, I can be silly at times, but yes, we have fun on this podcast, and I'm here to inspire you guys. At the end of the day, I hope that I inspire you guys and that you find the gear or perhaps the tools you need to make the greatest music of your life. That's what I'm here for. And I think I've covered exactly what this podcast is about if you're new to this podcast. I hope you've already got a gist, but we're going to cover some really cool stuff, so definitely stick around. For those of you who are regular listeners, thank you so much for coming back week to week, checking out what's new on the podcast. I know you dip and dive, you miss one here or there, but you're here for the mainstay. You're here, we're back week to week, and I know you want to know what's good in the world of music gear and music technology. Now, before we get stuck into this podcast today, you can, of course, shout your boy by supporting the channel by shouting me a coffee. Yes, you can buy me a coffee, that's right. And affiliate links will be down below for all of the products that have affiliate links in today's podcast, but go check them out nonetheless. If I don't have links, still go check out the podcast items that we cover today because they're all amazing. And without further ado, I think that's all of the, all the introduction things that we need to do. Let's get stuck straight into the podcast. What is up first? Coming from Native Instruments, yes, affiliate link down below for this product. It is Electric Mint. It is a brand new session guitarist drop from Native Instruments, and this thing sounds really good. Native Instruments actually have done a really good job capturing these guitar sampled instruments of late, especially with this session guitarist series. They all sound real, to be real with you. So what do you get? Slick 6-string songwriter, the signature sound of a solid body electric guitar with 3 combinable single coil pickups. You get 222 strummed and picked patterns spanning a range of genres, and choose from a selection of chord progressions or play your own melodies. Let's have a listen to this session guitarist Electric Mint. Here we go. Let's have a quick listen to this. Damn, what a groovy demo. That's Electric Mint. Session guitarist there. Spark fresh ideas. Electric Mint captures the distinct flavor of one of the world's most recognizable solid body electric guitars, sampled from an original vintage 1960s USA model. Whether you're spinning silky licks and soulful grooves, tearing it up with roaring solos, or sitting in the pocket with pop and funk lines, Electric Mint delivers timeless tones to the freshest productions with patterns and built-in MIDI chord progressions for any styles, packed into one playable instrument. And if you're looking here on YouTube, watching the podcast on YouTube, you can see the GUI there. It's quite nice. You got it inside the contact player, of course. You've got your pedals, distortion, modulation, studio effects, reverbs, and delay. And you got your amps and cabs, as well as a wah-wah there as well in your FX selection. So switch up your sound from rock and roll to soul, funk to R&B, reggae to drill, and everything in between. The Electric Mint model brought 6 strings to the heart of popular music with 3 combinable pickups, unlocking a world of tone control. It soon solidified its place as the go-to tool for some of the most iconic guitarists of the last 5 centuries. 5 decades, sorry, not centuries. Jeez, how old? I mean, maybe if it's 20, what is it? 2000 and how do you even say that? Like, let's say it's 2600. Is that what we're going to call it? The year 2600. 500 years into the future, we've got drag and drop MIDI patterns with electric mint from session guitarists. Anyway, that's my future promo there, just for you. Just cut that little bit out. Make sure you play it in 500 years' time. A powerful rig in a compact package, dial in your tone from the instrument itself, blend in a vintage dynamic microphone signal, and send it through a collection of amps and new speaker cabinet emulations. Browse an extended library of 71 sound presets from DI and clean tones to crunchy and high gains. Keep it simple or build monstrous effects chains with an expansive collection of studio grade effects, which I just spoke about before, including the new supercharged GT compressor cry-wah effect to emulate typical wah-wah patterns and convolution reverb to hear your amp in different rooms. So anyway, if you like the sound of this, if you want pop, funky, fresh guitar, which we just heard in that demo there, you're going to get it with Electric Mint. Link down below, affiliate link down below. Click on the link. Do yourself a favor if you like the sound of this. If this is what you need, or you want to add something like this to your production, you want to add some flair with the guitar samples in your production, these guitar samples in particular, click the link below. You'll not only be supporting the channel, but you'll be doing yourself a favor. It's introductory price at the moment as well. Just dropped this week. If you like that sound, go click the link below. All right. This was a brand new drop, which just literally happened just before the podcast. Korg Collection, Korg coming back. They're coming back here. They're like, hey, we're going to drop some stuff, guys. I mean, they literally, Korg Collection 3, already now probably, what is it, like nearly a year old? It's still an amazing collection, by the way. It's nearly a year. I don't think it's quite a year. Anyway, they just updated the Prophecy to version 1.5. And you get a bunch of new sounds, and we're going to play some of those back for you in a second. But basically, Prophecy is a legendary physical modeling synthesizer developed with the aim of offering freedom of expression beyond analog synthesizers and unprecedented sound creation possibilities. And it has evolved even further in its expressive capabilities in version 1.5. The quirks of the hardware Prophecy can now be expressed even more precisely thanks to deeper creative input from the brilliant minds of the original Prophecy development team. So the version 1.5 also adds 180 new programs. That's a lot you're getting. So if you've already got Korg Collection 3, I think this is just a free update. This unique sound collection brings out the individuality of the Prophecy, ranging from fresh software-only sounds to those that pay homage to the original Prophecy, and pushes monophonic sound design to all new levels. Please enjoy the new programs created with the participation of the original Prophecy sound designers. Isn't that amazing? Like, if you think about that for a second, that the original sound designers of the Prophecy, like, how old is the Prophecy now? Like, it's got to be at least 40 years maybe, nearly. And these guys they're there making sounds for you in software form. They're back. The team got back together. Think about that for a second. It's very good. Anyway, we're going to play. Here's a bit. This is sort of like this demo I'm going to play back is sort of a selection of different softwares from the Korg Collection 3, including obviously the Prophecy version 1.5 update, mixed in with the other ones. So I'll just play this back for you. Here we go. So this is the Prophecy monster pads. That's Prophecy, combined keys. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing demo. Korg, new music always. Actually, it was a mixture of just the Prophecy and the mini Korg in software form. But what a fantastic, amazing demo. Please don't copyright strike me. That was just amazing, that demo. And I want you guys to be able to hear that, of course, as you just did. And yeah, you can hear some really amazing, deep integrated sounds. I mean, the Prophecy software, I mean, all of the Korg software in the Korg Collection 3 all sounds amazing. The emulations are very authentic back to the hardware, but I think there's something magical, I guess you could say, about the Prophecy. There's a really nice, I look, personally, I'm a Korg fanboy. I'm not going to lie. I'm only going to speak highly of Korg because I just really like, Korg has a sound, and I really like the use of combinations of sounds. They've always been into combining wavetable synthesis together, and the Prophecy, obviously, and a 90s icon, just sounds incredible in software form. This update, I'm sure, is, honestly, it's, as you can hear from demo, it's just going to be amazing. I'm gushing. I'm a fanboy. What can I say? I'm a Korg fanboy. Korg, sponsor the channel, please. Anyway, let's move along to other excellent news. So check that out if you want to get that, by the way. Waves. If you're a Waves user, they've just updated the version 14. This is not a free update, of course. You have to buy into their update plans, but sometimes it can be worth it. They do some stealth, like free drops with their software. Now, what exactly is new in version 14? Do you actually need to update? Well, if you want some of these features, then maybe you do. Let's have a look. The update's not usually too expensive, but anyway, let's have a look. So what's new in version 14? Mix and trim knobs added to our most popular compressors, get better dynamic control, fast in API 2500 CLA to ACLA, 3 ACLA, 76 RComp. I love RComp. That's my main, that's my go-to compressor, honestly. An SSLG master bus compressor. I'm old school. The RComp, which has been around the longest out of all of those, is just still my favorite. So you get new, faster loading times, improved loading times for plugins, presets, and sessions in your DAW. I mean, they were already fast. I don't know how much faster they could be. Quick drag and drop preset workflow. Load presets faster with the new drag and drop workflow. That sounds cool. HIDPI graphics, whatever that stands for select plugins. It's just ultra sharp GUIs, basically. Standalone application for the CR8 Creative Sampler. Okay, cool. Shape, manipulate, and play your samples without a DAW. I thought you could do that already. Maybe you can't. What about Cosmos? Oh, it's different. Sorry, Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that is a standalone now. That used to be a plugin only. All right, additional improvements are new presets, improvements, and additional updates. Look, if that's something you want, you need, you're a Waves user, it might be a no-brainer. I mean, Waves, they did become the workhorse in most post-production studios that I've worked in. At least there's Waves pretty much everywhere. And they're one of the oldest, longest running sort of, I don't know, they're just your bread and butter tools, really. There are amazing and I wouldn't say better, but there are just some incredible on-par software companies now that compete with this, like your Soft Tubes and your Universal Audios. Like, they're just incredible, right? And there's more than that. There's your Sonox. I could go on. There's some, just the software now working in the box has honestly now, like, this is just you and me talking. Like, forget about the other listeners, just you're listening to me. I'm talking directly to you right now. That software now it's in the box. I honestly think, do you even need hardware anymore? Like, the emulation, in my opinion, is almost surpassing hardware now. We're getting to a point where hardware is superfluous. Is it necessarily needed? There is the fun of tweaking knobs and dialing in particular sounds that analog circuitry can really do, but it's almost as if software has captured that now, like, which is really kind of scary and exciting at the same time. Anyway, artificial intelligence is taking over, of course. I'm kidding. Maybe. Who knows? All right, next. Baby Audio, summer sale. We love Baby Audio. They're our friends. 2022 summer sale happening right now. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, only you guys get the sale. Just kidding, because actually you can get it all around the world. I can get it in the winter. winter time for me, summer for you in the Northern Hemisphere. Yes, I'm in the Southern Hemisphere, so it's winter here. But we love Baby Audio, and this is a good time if you've been eyeing off any of Baby Audio's plugins. They're all super duper, super cheap. Honestly, like you could just not go out for dinner one night, or don't go to the pub, or don't go to the bar, and just get a plugin. Like, these are super amazing sounding plugins. Parallel Aggressor, how much fun is that? $29 at the moment. Super VHS, what started it all for me. My relationship with Baby Audio started at Super VHS. One of the best sounding, just cassette tape emulated plugins. Awesome fun effect. $29 at the moment. No kickback for me from Baby Audio at the moment. I do have, actually, there is an affiliate with Baby Audio that I have, but we just haven't got the links working. We'll try and make it so you can support your boy. I'll try and put links down below if I can. Baby Audio, if you're watching this, help a brother out, okay? Let's get these affiliate links working. Crystalline, this is my crystal ball. No, it's crystalline, but my crystal ball, what's the word? I'm thinking this is going to be plugin of the year, 2022. There's my prediction. That's what I was going for. Prediction, crystalline, plugin of the year, next gen reverb plugin. Anyway, they're all on sale. Check it out. Again, no kickback. Unless I get those affiliate links working, then you're going to be shouting your boy many coffees. Clicking that link down below. This next one is for our Steinberg only users. I apologize for this. If you're not a Steinberg Cubase user, skip ahead. However, I dare you to stay around because this is really interesting. This piece of software, before you skip ahead, actually, you got to hear what this thing can do. This thing is really interesting. This is what we do the podcast for. This is like a very futuristic music thing right here. It's called Backbone. Yes, it's only for Cubase. I don't know why it is a VST and an AU. I don't understand. It says it's compatible with Cubase. I know that Steinberg is Cubase, but can they just make it so it works in other DAWs? Like, I'm not a Cubase user, obviously, and I don't plan on starting a new DAW. I'm already using several. And anyway, so Backbone, what is it? This thing is quite incredible. Backbone is your new innovative drum designer for single kicks, snares, hi-hats, percussion, rises, hits, and more. Layer up to 8 samples and shape them with classic subtractive synthesis, decompose samples into tonal and noise elements, re-synthesize samples to manipulate them in unheard ways, and apply up to 8 effects with 2 fully routable buses, all with a slick, extremely fast interface. Backbone takes your drums into a whole new era of sound design, the era of drum re-synthesis. So intuitively design drums with up to 8 layers, re-synthesize one-shots and loops, directly export audio for clip-based music production, and Backbone supports VST3 and AAX. Now, where Backbone gets really interesting, that just sounds like a pretty typical drum sampled instrument, right? But here is where this is what caught my eye here, because this sort of started blowing my mind here. So DrumGAN, a development of Sony Computer Science Laboratories, Inc. So Sony, of all companies, has added some artificial intelligence to this drum synthesizer, drum machine software that whatever you want to call it, right? So the research team at Sony CSL comprises Javier Blah, can't say the name, so I'm going to butcher them, and Stefan Latner. They have developed a new system to generate drum sounds with generative adversarial networks. That's what GAN stands for. DrumGAN analyzed a large collection of kick drums, snare drums, and cymbals. I think it was 300,000 samples or something, to develop a new way of generating drums. And the result is an outstanding system which offers a new source of expressive and musical drum sounds. Together with Steinberg, Sony CSL has worked on implementing this impressive technology with Backbone, helping musicians across the world to create new and unique sample-based signature drum sounds. Now, let me just see if I can find the video for this, because that technology right there, here we go, Artificial Drum Intelligence by Sony. So Backbone 1.5 now comes with DrumGAN as an innovative drum generator developed by Sony Computer Science Laboratories, Inc., powered by artificial intelligence. It creates new kick drums, snare drums, and cymbal samples samples in a very fast and intuitive way. It also analyzes samples, can replicate them, and create countless variations. DrumGAN is a perfect addition to Backbone for crafting new drum sounds entirely from scratch while staying in your favorite sample editing environment. So what does all this mean? What does all this jargon that I'm saying right now mean? Well, if you've been listening and you're tracking, good for you if you understand what I just said. Basically, what this thing does is it's listened to a bunch of samples, and then it creates, with artificial intelligence, yes, a brand new sample that's never existed before. You heard that right. A brand new sample that's actually never existed before. This is what I want to talk about. I know we're very specific here. We're looking at a Q-based plugin, but this technology, wow, if we get this brought across to synthesizers, it doesn't have to necessarily be from Steinberg, but the thing that Sony CSL are working on, my goodness, this is wow. I'm just going to play a tiny bit back at this video. I'm going to play the whole video, but it explains it a little bit more in depth, hopefully making a bit more sense than what I just said here. So let's have a look at what DrumGAN is.
A generative adversarial network, or GAN in short, is a deep learning algorithm where two neural networks compete with each other in a game. The generator model is able to generate replicas from a given real-world dataset. The discriminator model takes an example from the original dataset or a generated one and estimates if it is real or generated. Both models, the generator and the discriminator, are trained until the output by the generator produces perfect replicas, i.e. the discriminator cannot tell the difference if the example is real or generated.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there, but how freaking scary is that? You've got basically two AI computers working together to get your unique, never existed before drum samples. How insane, honestly, insane. Insane in a good way, though, because I don't know, do you need artificial intelligence in your music? What do you guys think of that? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I know I don't encourage you guys to, but we're a community here. You can comment down below. That's really fascinating stuff. Anyway, we're going to keep moving along. Okay, next piece of news here. Wow, amazing though, by the way. Next piece of news here is that Reason and Output have teamed up together. This is new news to me. I only literally just found out this before the podcast, of course, to launch Arcade and Reason Plus bundle to enhance creativity for music makers. I thought this was a nice little collaboration here. So Output Inc. and Reason Studios, both friends of the podcast here, two market leaders in music production technology, have partnered together to create the Arcade and Reason Plus bundle, a complete package of instruments, effects, and samples for music creators. This package pairs two of the most exciting plugin collections on the market for music makers. And every new song idea starts with a spark, and music creators have been relying on Output, Arcade, and Reason Plus as two of the best production bundles to help generate musical ideas. Output and Reason Studios have teamed up to pair these two successful plugins together, offering access to hundreds of instantly playable, mind-blowing instruments, the perfect starting point for the next idea. So both the Reason Rack plugin and Arcade support all plugin formats, VST, AU, AAX, and can be used in any DAW, whether it be Ableton Live, Pro Tools, Logic Pro, FL Studio, or any other major DAW. And the bundle includes two annual subscriptions, one to Reason Plus and one to Arcade. The package is $249 per year, saving producers 17% if they would purchase both annual subscriptions separately. So if you were an Output user and a Reason user now, you can combine the two and you're going to save money basically. I mean, I thought this was cool, and I like the idea that the goal is to help music producers focus on their creativity and ideas. I mean, obviously these two companies want to make money as well, but I think that, offering you a discount, combining it together, if you're using them, it's kind of a no-brainer. And they are both very, very fun and intuitive music programs. I thought it was a nice piece of news. Let's move along to our next piece of news. It's a little bit of a sort of like a summary sale thing, but it's also a plugin which we haven't spoken much about on the channel. We spoke about it upon its release, but right now it's 50% off, so I thought it was worth mentioning again as part of these summer sales that are ongoing at the moment. Opal Morphing Synthesizer. Do you remember this one? This is a synth drop from Universal Audio, who up until then, I don't think they had any software instruments. So this is kind of interesting because Universal Audio obviously make some of the best analog emulation mix plugins on the planet, in my opinion. I think they sound unbelievable. So what is Opal morphing synthesizer, which we have barely spoken about? Of course, it is their infinite larger than life synth that always sounds like a record. Opal is their epic sounding flagship synth that's perfect for producers, sound designers, and musicians. This analog meets wavetable synth gives you huge sounding morphing filters and powerful UA effects, yet always keeps you close to album ready sounds no matter how deep you explore. I actually think this is a fairly underrated sounding soft synth. I'll play back some samples here in a sec. The GUI looks unbelievable. You got this huge waves here, 2 screens. We can see what's going on with the oscillators and so forth. Let's take a quick listen. There's a very good demo here, just showing off the Opal synthesizer, going through a few presets here. That's a good sounding bass. Nice. Awesome. So you can see it's got a really nice, deep, rich sound, much like all of Universal Audio's plugins do. And of course, this being one of their first forays into instrument synthesis, I think this sounds absolutely incredible. So get giant inspiring sounds from the world's best sounding analog meets wavetable super synth. Add studio quality UA effects like vintage spring, reverb, tape delay, modulation, and authentic 1176 compression, all from the unit, of course. Use morphing filters, oscillators, LFOs, and noise to unlock new creative paths, and go deep into synthesis without getting lost, thanks to impeccably crafted presets. Look, I just wanted to mention it. It's half price. So if you were interested in this or you liked it, you like that sound, no kickback, no links, go check it out if that's what you're interested in. We love Universal Audio here on the channel, so of course we're going to talk highly of them. All right, next piece of news here, coming to us from no stranger to the podcast, but doesn't often always get a mention, but it is, of course, Elektron. I don't know if we have Elektron viewers or listeners on this podcast. Maybe we do, or maybe we have future Elektron users and viewers here on the podcast. Maybe they're Elektron wannabes. Is a wannabe the right word? No, wannabe going to become Elektron users. Anyway, this is cool because the analog sound processor, which I wasn't aware of up until about a week ago by Elektron, I didn't even know they did sound processors, is available again. Now, if you like what analog does there, Syntact drum synth, which we spoke about a few podcasts ago, looks so damn sexy, and what it can actually do is mind-boggling, and I think that sold out in no time. Well, apparently Elektron is having a little bit of trouble in their supply chain with, actually having availability of their products. There must be a big need for them, but of course there's also the world shortages and things like that that's happening with real world events that are happening right now, causing supply chain shortages and so forth of chips and that sort of thing. Anyway, I digress. Analog sound processor, this particular one from Elektron, Analog Heat MKII, is available again, and it's on their website. If you like this, basically it's Elektron's foray into effects unit. Nature has a way of tuning something pretty into a thing of timeless beauty. Rocks erode into new textures, plants wilt and pale or show vibrant new colors. And that's what Analog Heat MKII comes in to boost the color, texture, and temperature of your sound, exposing its inner beauty, gently or roughly, making it glow. and audio enhancer and audio destroyer, plug in and boost any sound source, samplers, drum machines, synth vocals, master bus, you name it. It's a fiery furnace ready to ignite your music while keeping the structure and integrity of your signal. And each of the 8 analog circuits offers its own unique way of processing sound: clean boost, saturation, enhance, mid-drive crunch, distortion, harmonic fuzz, or high gain. You'll find your favorite. Let's just go have a listen to it, hey? Because I can keep talking about it, but you want to hear it. So we'll go down here, some nice sound demos. Let's have a look. Burn the band. So it starts dry, and then we'll hear the analog effects processing, analog heat MKII kicking in. Here we go. Wow. Jeez. Wow. All right. So if you really like messing with, I mean, that was a pretty good example. Let's do one more here. If you really like messing with the full, you know, your full sound, there's one way to do it. Or you could have it on individual tracks. All right, here's the basics. Nice. Yeah, you can really mess it up. Whew. Oh, I'm getting into this. Anyway, we get the idea. You can super mess up the sound. Sounds amazing. Analog Heat MKII by Elektron is back available again. I mean, if this is something you didn't know about, now you do. It looks amazing. Of course, being Elektron, they make really nice, kind of Apple-esque. I mean, it's not Apple, they're black, but, you know, they just have a nice aesthetic. They have an aesthetic, Elektron. Hailing out of Germany, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it's Germany, making some incredible hardware. Let's move along to our last piece of news here. It comes to us from Teenage Engineering. We spoke about this mixer of controversy a few podcasts ago, many moons ago, I would say. No, it was at least, 2 months ago now? Anyway, TX-6, this little tiny mixer, the size of a matchbox, actually a little bit bigger, I think, but it's very small. And for what it can do is actually absolutely incredible. I know there was controversy on the price, but I believe, in my humble opinion, my little I'm ho, is that how you say? I'm ho? Please don't clip that out. That is pretty funny. This thing, I think there's nothing like it on the planet. This thing is worthy of its price. Even though I know it's small, it's super desirable, it's super, super expensive. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, maybe it's not, but let's think about like inflation for a second, and let's go like 200 years in the future. What is this going to be, man? Is it going to be like $1? Let's think like that. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, don't take financial advice from me. This is not a financial podcast at all. The TX-6 firmware update 1.1.4 is out now. What is so special about this? Why are we ending the podcast on this? Because it's the news you want to hear, guys. I know you want to hear this. So 2 months, I was right, 2 months after the release of the TX-6, we have our first firmware update for you, and it's a doozy. So here it is in the highlights. USB mass storage disk record playback for 24-bit, 48 kilohertz stereo wave files, including armed recording with automatic start on audio detect. That's pretty cool, actually. I like armed recording. That's nice, and especially for something like this where you need it to kick right off. Like if you're recording, syncing against something, you need it to start recording as soon as the audio hits. That's pretty cool. PO sync output on auxiliary and Q with selectable 8th note for PO sync and 16th note for modular systems. That basically means you can just sync up with the little sync output and input hosts there. External MIDI control for all TX-6 parameters for complete remote control over MIDI. That's awesome. Extended MIDI support for synth mode to play the synth chromatically using MIDI notes from an external keyboard. I forgot this thing has a built-in synthesizer. What? How did we forget that? That is actually... Do I get one of these things, guys? I know there's a bunch of like YouTube beta testers that somehow they got them and they've got like freaking 100 subscribers, but now they've probably got way more subscribers than my YouTube channel. Damn you beta testers, damn you, because you got these things first. Anyway, this thing is becoming more desirable. I think the only thing that put me off a little bit with this was the built-in battery. I was worried about that. Maybe I don't need to be, because apparently the battery on these TX-6s, if you don't use them over time, they die, and then you've just got like I don't know, something that doesn't work. You got a desirable little piece of hardware, that doesn't work anymore. Anyway, we forgot there was a synthesizer on this thing. That's where we were. That's pretty damn cool. And you can control it from an external MIDI keyboard. Hello? This update's added its value, I think. More so than what it already was. So added scenes to save and load all settings. USB audio multiple sample rate supports 48 kHz and additional 44.1 kHz for compatibility with MPC Live. Bluetooth, BLE, MIDI clock in out support with clock routing. And BLE host mode to connect peripherals like BLE, Bluetooth, MIDI, Bluetooth-enabled MIDI keyboards. That's amazing. I didn't know it had Bluetooth in it. That's cool. Switchable aux and Q outputs to be able to utilize higher output levels of the aux jack if needed for high impedance headphones. Added balanced mono input mode in addition to stereo mono split modes. Parameters keep their values until a knob is moved, making it easier to switch knob config without undesired behavior. No snapback of the freeze FX parameter. Click to reset instead. Smooth the change of FX send. Stability bug fix for USB MIDI host mode. USB USB audio mode set on menu exit instead of directly. So this update, wow, they've done. There really is a doozy. What's the length of this here? We won't play the video back there, but if you do want to check it out, the full video there, TX-6 firmware update, looks really good. And it looks like they've got, I don't know if this is their own sort of like anodized aluminium USB stick going in here, 32 gigabyte stick they got plugged into here. I don't know about that. Probably is being teenage engineering. They're pretty good at doing those sort of things. Got it. Love them or hate them. I don't think anyone hates them. I just think people want them and they can't afford them. Teenage engineering, hands down, are very innovative and make some incredible hardware. And I think the TX-6, I know it had the controversy of its price, but I really think this thing is worth its value right now. I really do. I just hope that battery thing is a non-issue. If that's a non-issue, I think this is a no-brainer go-to, and we're still talking about it. Maybe this is something of 2022. This really is one of the highlights in terms of hardware for 2022. I know we've had some incredible releases. Let's not forget about they released the new OP1, although I don't find that as desirable. It's just a refresh on the old OP1, although it does have some incredible features. Let's be real about that too. But I think this is an innovative sort of new out there thing. The fact that they've managed to make this mixer, which is has all the features of a fully fledged huge mixer, and they've managed to make it just like this micro mixer. It's a really cool thing. Anyway, what do you guys think of this? I could ramble on all day about this, but what do you guys think? I want to know what your opinions are. What do you think of this TX-6 update? Are you going to get one? Is it still too pricey? What do you think about Guitar Mint? What is it? Mint Guitarist from Guitarist Sessions. It's not Mint Guitar. Hang on, we'll go back here. Jesus, get these things right. Electric Mint. Tell me what you think about Electric Mint by Native Instruments. Click the link below if you love it. Support your boy. You're going to get the Korg Collection 3 update, Prophecy 1.5 update. Waves are doing an incredible deal at the moment. And of course, they've got version 14 of their plugins, Baby Audio Summer Sale. You're going to check it out. Backbone, does this interest you? Should they do a VST AU compatible plugin so it can run in other doors? Is this Reason Studio and Output collaboration a good thing? I mean, I think it is. Opal synthesizer, did you love it? The morphing synthesizer of your dreams. And Analog Heat MKII available from Elektron. Is this something you need or something you want to get? I mean, it looks, again, like the TX-6, very desirable indeed. And what do you think about the TX-6? Tell me. Tell me all the things. Tell me about your life. And stay, I mean, whatever. You can talk to me. It's all good. Stay creative this week. Have an amazing week. Hope you enjoyed the podcast today. I'll try to keep it real for you week to week as we do. And we're back next week, of course, with episode 27. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Peace out. Thank you for listening too. Peace out. Boom.